Welcome everyone. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about the multiplication table. But before starting the discussion on the multiplication table, I will inform you a little bit knowledge about some special types of groups and the direct product of the groups. So let us introduce you to a group Z2. What is Z2? The Z2 group consists of two elements. They are actually the two square roots of 1, namely 1 and minus 1. These two elements form a group which is known as Z2 group. This group is known as Z2 group under ordinary multiplication. And similarly, the three cube roots of 1 form the group Z3. We call it Z3, which is equal to 1 omega and omega square. So as two square roots of 1 form a group, similarly three cube roots of 1 also form a group known as Z3, and Z3 consists of the elements omega 1, omega and omega square, with omega is equal to e to the power 2 pi I divided by 3. We know the value of omega. Similarly, there are four fourth roots of 1. These four fourth roots of 1 also form a group known as Z4. So Z4 group consists of the elements 1, I, minus 1 and minus I, where I is equal to e to the power I pi by 2. We know this expression, I is equal to e to the power I pi by 2. So, so far we have discussed about the Z2 group, Z3 group and Z4 group. More generally, the nth roots of 1, nth roots of 1 form the group Zn. Zn is equal to e to the power I into 2 pi j divided by n, where j runs from 0 to up to n minus 1. And how the composition of the group elements are defined? The composition is defined in this way. For example, if you take any two elements, suppose e to the power I 2 pi j by n into e to the power I 2 pi k by n, then the product will be defined as e to the power I 2 pi into j plus k by n. So this is the composition. Now we will come to the discussion of direct product of the groups. So suppose given two groups F and G. F is one group and G is another group, and whose elements we can denote as small f and small g. So small f and small g are any elements of the groups F and G respectively. And we can define another group H. So another group is H. So H is equivalent to F into G. You see the symbol here. This is the notation for the direct product. So F into G known as the direct product of F and G. You just follow the notation. This is the symbol for the direct product, this one. And the group H, that will consist of the elements F comma G. We write in this way, that is the group H consists of the elements F comma G. And the product of two elements F comma G and F prime comma G prime of H. Suppose the group H has two elements. Suppose one is F comma G and another is F prime comma G prime. So how to define the product between them? F comma G into F prime comma G prime is equal to F prime comma G prime. We have to just follow the rule for the multiplication between the two elements. So this is the rule for the multiplication between the two elements of H which has been formed by the direct product. The identity element of H is evidently given by I comma I. So, the identity element of H is written in this way, I comma I. Since I comma I into F comma G, suppose we want to know, that is, what is the product of I comma I with any element of H, that is F comma G. So, as per the rule shown here, the product will be IF comma IG equal to F comma G, because I is identity element. So, I into F will be F and I into G will be G. And similarly, if we do the product in this way, that is F comma G, then I comma I, then again the product will be as per this rule, Fi comma Gi is equal to F comma G. That is both are same. Now there is a question, that is, what is the inverse of F comma G, and if F and G have m and n elements respectively, how many elements does F into G have? So, first of all, the inverse of F comma G will be F inverse comma G inverse. This is the rule for the inverse. And if capital F group has small m number of elements and capital G has small n number of elements, then F into G will have mn elements. So, this is the rule for the direct product. Now I will discuss about a particular group which is known as Klein's Beer group V, and this particular group is formed by the multiplication of Z2 into Z2. So, Z2 into Z2, here into means that is the direct product. Now, how Z2 into Z2 has been formed, you just follow this discussion. That is, suppose you have 4 elements, that is I, A, B and C, and how you have obtained these 4 elements? By the direct product. Now I have already introduced you about the Z2 group. Z2 group consists of 2 elements, that is square root of 1, that means 1 and minus 1. Now how IABC has been obtained, that is, it has been obtained by the direct product between 1 and minus 1. So, 4 elements will be 1 comma 1, that is product between 1 and 1, then next minus 1 and 1, then 1 and minus 1, and minus 1 and minus 1. So, these are the 4 elements for the Z2 into Z2 group. Now, in this case, if you calculate the value of AB, A is this one and B is this one. So, by the rule of direct product that I have introduced to you a little bit earlier. So, if you apply that rule, then AB will be minus 1 comma minus 1 is equal to C. So, the point is that if you multiply the elements with themselves, then you will see that the product will be in this particular set. That means that the closure property holds and IABC forms a group. Note that this group is to be distinguished from the group Z4 consisting of the 4 elements. The Z4 group consists of the 4 elements 1, I, minus 1 and minus I. The square of any element in Z2 into Z2, that means this group is equal to the identity, because you see that if you make square of any elements, that will be equal to the identity, but this is not true in case of Z4. In particular, in Z4 I square is equal to minus 1. So, there is some difference between Z2 into Z2 and Z4. So, this Z2 into Z2 group is known as Klein's Beer group. This is a German word, and Beer group means 4 group, and it has some special significance. And another thing is to note that the elements of F regarded as a subgroup of F into G are written as F comma I. So that F is regarded as the subgroup of F and its elements are written as F comma I. Similarly, the elements of G are written as I comma G, and clearly F comma I and I comma G commute. So this is what about the concept of the Kleins-Beer group V. Now I will come to the discussion about multiplication table, and at first we will learn a rule, that is once and only once rule. A finite group with n elements can be characterized by its multiplication table. So if a group has n elements, that a particular group can be represented as a table which is known as the multiplication table, and we construct a square n by n table. That is, you write n elements in the header and you again write n elements in this particular column. So you have to write the elements in this way, one by one, in the header and in the left hand side column. And for each of the elements, what you have to do, you have to take one element from the left hand column and you multiply with the elements written in the header, and you write the product step by step in this position. In this way you can construct a n by n table. So suppose one of the element in the column is Gi and one of the element in the header is Gj. So we can write the product in this particular position Gi Gj. So Gi Gj product has been obtained by the multiplication of this Gi and this Gj. A simple observation is that because of the group properties, in each row any group element can appear once and only once. So suppose there is a particular row here in this multiplication table. In that table each element can occur once and only once. Why? To see this, suppose that in the ith row, suppose this is the ith row, the same group element appears twice. So we assume that the same group element appears twice. So we assume in this way, that is the group elements Gi Gj, this is one of the element, and suppose there is other element Gi Gk. Suppose because Gi Gj, this particular element has been formed by the multiplication of Gi and Gj, and suppose there is Gk here, and by the multiplication of Gi and Gk you are obtaining Gi Gk, and these two elements are same, as we have told here, that is we are assuming that the group elements appears twice. So these two elements are same and they appeared twice. So Gi Gj is equal to Gi Gk for j not equal to k. Now let us multiply Gi inverse from the left. So if we multiply Gi inverse from the left to this equation, then we will obtain Gj is equal to Gk, contrary to what we have assumed. Gj is equal to Gk means, that is one element occur only once. It follows that each of the n elements must appear once to fill up the n slots in that row. If there are n number of slots, so one element will only appear once, and we might refer to this rule as the once and only once rule. So this is the rule what we were talking about. The same argument could be repeated with the word row replaced by column, that is in a particular column again the same thing will happen, that is one element will appear only once. So now we will construct a particular table for 4 elements. So this particular method is known as slow way, because we will find step by step, that is how we are obtaining the products between the elements and how we are writing in the slots of the multiplication table. So we call the 4 elements I, A, B and C. So we have to write I, A, B, C in the header and the left hand side column, and we have to find out the products between them and we have to write the products in these slots. Now, by the definition of the identity, the first row and the first column can be filled in automatically, because the product of I with all the elements will give all the elements of the group. And similarly, when we find the product between I and I, that will be I, A and I, that will be A, B and I, that will be B, C and I, that will be C. So same thing for the first row and this first column. Now we are to fill the rest of the slots. So suppose we are to fill the second row, that means this row we are going to fill. Now we have written already A, so we are left with three elements, that is I, B and C. The first entry in that row is A square, because A into A into A, that is A square. And there are two possible choices, that is it may happen that A square equal to B, or other choice is A square equal to I. So either B or I. There is a third choice also, that is A square equal to C, but the point is that is A square is equal to C and A square is equal to B is same, just we can call B to C, that is we can rename B and C or interchange B and C. So but the thing is same. So there is a choice, that is A square is equal to either B or A square is equal to I. Now let us follow the choice A. So let us construct the table with this choice, that is A square is equal to B, and we will come back to the choice this one, that is A square equal to I, later on. Now the multiplication table will be like this, that is we have written A square is equal to B here, and rest of the position we have just named in this way, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to find out the values of the points 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now we have to put C and I into boxes 2 and 3. You see that only I and C is left for the second row. So for 2 and 3 the choice is C and I. Now we cannot write C in the position of 3. Why? Because you see in the just upper position in the column there is C, but in the same column C cannot appear two times. So we cannot write in C in the position of 3. We must have to write C in the position of 2. Then we have to write I in the position of 3. Then we have already completed the second row, that is A, B, C and I. Now we are left with 4, 5 and 6. Again by the once and only once rule, box 4 can only be C or I. You see the box 4, that can be C or I, because there is A and there is B. So the box 4 can only be C or I. The latter choice would mean BA is equal to I. Suppose this is B and this is A. So 4 means the product between B and A, that is BA. So if this is I, then BA will be I, and hence B is equal to A inverse. But we already know from the second row of the multiplication table that AB is equal to C. Here you see that A into B, AB is equal to C, not equal to I. AB is equal to C, not equal to I. Thus box 4 can only be C. Thus this box 4, that can only be C. So we have to write C in the position of 4. Hence box 5 will be I. So box 5 will be I and box 6 is A. Why box 5 will be I? Because we cannot write I here, otherwise I will be repeated 2 times. So box 5 is I and box 6 is A. So now we have already filled up the third row. Finally, the last 3 blank entries in the fourth column are fixed uniquely by the ones and only ones rule. That means the last column we can fill it easily, because we have already obtained 3 elements of a particular column. So the element that is left we have to write here. So in this way we can prepare the whole multiplication table. We know everything about the group and we can ask what group is this. From the second row we read of a square is equal to b. From the second row you see that a into a, that is a square is equal to b. So what will be a cube? A cube will be a into a square equal to a into b is equal to c. And what is a4? A to the power 4 is equal to a into a cube, that means a into c, because a cube is equal to c, is equal to I. Now a to the power 4 is equal to I. From this particular notation, that is as a to the power 4 is equal to I, we can say that the group is actually the Z4 group. If we compare the elements, then we can easily say that the group is Z4. So from the second row we can predict that. Interestingly, we don't even have to finish constructing the entire multiplication table, because from the second row we can predict that the group is Z to the power 4. However, the rest of the table provides us with a lot of consistency checks to ensure that we have not messed up. For example, from the last row we have BC is equal to A. From the last row we have BC is equal to A. You see that C into B, BC is equal to A. But we know from the second row that B is equal to A square and C is equal to A cube, and hence the statement BC is equal to A says that A cube into A square, if we put the values of B and C, then this is a to the power 5 is equal to A, because we have already estimated, that is a to the power 4 is equal to I. So a to the power 5 will be I into a4, that is A, showing that indeed a to the power 4 is equal to I. From this statement we can say that what we have got in the second row, that is a to the power 4 is equal to I, that is a correct one. Now we actually we have assumed during the derivation, that is here in this second row we selected a square is equal to b. Now we will select a square is equal to I and construct the multiplication table in quite similar way. Just we write a square is equal to I here, and rest of the boxes we just denote in this way, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we have to find out the values of these particular numbers. Now we are to fill boxes 2 and 3 with C and B, because 2 choices are left, but you have to write in this way, that is by applying once and only once rule. In the third and fourth columns these boxes can only be C and B, otherwise there will be 2 elements in these 2 columns. So this second row 2 and 3 will be C and B, and so this second row is now completed, and by the same reasoning we can only fill boxes 4 and 7. That means these boxes with we can only fill boxes 4 and 7 with C and B respectively. So we thus obtain this one. Now the point is that, so after the completion of this particular part, now what is left? 4 and 7 means this one, that is here B and C, so here C and B we have written. Now this particular box is left, this position is now vacant. 4 and 7 means here there is 4 and there is 7, so as there are B and C here, so we have written C and B here. So this particular box is vacant now. Now it looks like we could fill the 4 remaining empty boxes with either IAAI or AIIA, because if we apply once and only once rule, then only these elements have to be written in this particular position, and the choice is 2, that is either we have to write IAAI or AIIA. Now you see the structure of the particular table. You see that here it is, if you look at this particular portion, and this is IAAI, and here it is BC and CB. Here is also BC and C and B. So from the symmetry condition, we can write it IAAI. So then it will look like this one. Because these two choices amount to the same thing, we simply rename B and C. Thus we obtain that is this one, IA, A and I. So now the whole table is complete. Now what group is this? It is just Z2 into Z2, because here A square is equal to I and B square is equal to I and C is equal to AB equal to BA, and also C square is equal to I. So this is the property of the Z2 into Z2 group. So we have constructed the Z2 into Z2 group, and before that is in the first part we have constructed the Z4 group. So in this way we can construct the multiplication table. This is one of the process for constructing the multiplication table. I think that is you have understood the whole discussion, and for further discussion I suggest you to go through the textbook of AG, group theory in a nutshell. This particular content of the discussion has been taken from the book of AG. So I thank you all for listening this lecture.